You're going to like this. Let's listen to the Kentucky highlights with Larry Munson and Scott Howard.
Georgia had tasted the sweet wine of success at Rupp Arena less than a month before this Valentine's Day rematch with Kentucky in Athens. The Bulldogs claimed victory up in Lexington for just the fourth time in school history. No doubt the Wildcats wouldn't forget their embarrassment that day. Georgia won at Kentucky on the strength of its perimeter players. The Bulldogs would play the rematch with a focus on the front court, trying to neutralize the strong play of Kentucky forwards Eric Daniels and Chuck Hayes, who had been very effective in defeat at Lexington.
Georgia with a basketball. We're just underway. Here's Wilkins' free throw line jumper. It's good. Damian Wilkins with it. Looks like a freshly shaved dome, and we're tied at 2. Georgia with the ball in the near corner, rather, to Stoops to Wilkins off the screen, and he hits it from just above the elbow. Along 2 by Damian Wilkins, and he's got 4, and it's 12-6. Cats with a 6-point lead and the ball.
Really having a tough time with Rashad Wright.
And Rashad trying to pick up a loose ball as he knocked it loose. Dogs with a steal. Stoops up ahead, and a two-handed slam for Chris Daniels on the other end to finish the deal.
The pace of the first half action reflected Kentucky's clear focus and determination. The Cats built a big early lead while Georgia went stone cold with its outside shooting. Only the hot hand of Jonas Hayes prevented an even wider margin before intermission.
Dribble drive, dumps it to Daniels. Shot blocked in the paint. Daniels got it right back, goes up again, and gets blocked. Georgia with the rebound. Here's Wright out of the pack. Rashad going to drive. Missed the layup. Daniels gets the rebound, tries to throw it back up and in. He missed. Jonas Hayes does the work. He gets the rebound and scores. To Rashad, who runs along the baseline, catches the feed in the corner. Give it to Stoops now on the right wing. Down low to Jonas Hayes. Turn jumper. Rattled it in there good from 8 feet. Bounce feed to Daniels. Right low block. Daniels with his back to the basket. Going to spin to the baseline. And pass across to Jonas Hayes, and he will score. The shot clock. Here's Hawkins driving to the basket. He misses a running layup. Kentucky with the rebound. They put it back up. It's still battles for it. Georgia gets the rebound. Jonas Hayes with his 3rd. Kentucky had a couple of cracks at it, but the ball's being knocked all over the place. Georgia on the offensive end. Wilkins charges in. Contact made. No call. He misses the shot. Jonas Hayes with the rebound in the paint and turn around and put it up and in.
But better shooting didn't enable Georgia to turn the corner on this day. Its defense did. And the Bulldogs took control of the contest by disrupting the Wildcats and intimidating them a little bit, too.
The shot inbounds to Hayes, to Sykes up on the right wing, to Daniels in the circle. Here's a 16-footer. Good by Chris Daniels. Georgia with the ball. Sykes on the left wing. Fires across to Wilkins, nearly intercepted by Azubuike. Right corner 3 by Rashad. Good! Rashad Wright hit his first 3, his first field goal, and Georgia has tied it at 43.
Guys, now it's on now. Now it's on. Now listen, don't forget who has to win this game. Who has to win it. So how can they possibly play any harder, any tougher, any more aggressive than us? They don't need it. We need it.
With the outcome still up for grabs, freshman Levi Stoops nailed perhaps the game's biggest bucket, this long three-pointer with just over 4 minutes left. It gave the Bulldogs a 6-point lead and tipped the balance in their favor. Damian Wilkins followed with a basket that epitomized the Bulldogs' effort on this victorious afternoon. Georgia had completed a regular season sweep of Kentucky for just the 5th time in history, and the Bulldogs had given themselves a moment to savor for all time.
And Georgia has beaten Kentucky for the 2nd time this year, 74-68, as the students make their way to the middle of the floor to be on national television.
Dennis Felton and the Georgia Bulldogs beating Kentucky. Dennis, I've watched Georgia basketball since the mid-50s. Haven't ever seen this before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is just the beginning. I mean, we're just in our infancy, and there's nothing to get giddy about yet, because we have a lot of work to do with our program. But there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to become one of the premier basketball programs in the country, and it's just going to be a proud moment for all of us, because as great as the university is, as great as our athletic department is, you know, in athletics, that's the one remaining jewel to the crown that, you know, can allow us all as Bulldogs to stand up and say we're the very best in the country across the board, and so that's what I want our contribution to be.
All right, Coach, be back in just a moment, and we will close out this edition of Inside Georgia Basketball.